Welcome all. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Bill. How are you, sir?
Doing good. I'm doing good. How was your day yesterday?
Man, so I had a couple of reschedules. I had a couple of, things happen. So the epic day of Zooms was not as rough as I was talking about yesterday. I had I had two reschedules happen yesterday. So as opposed to it being, 12, it was only 10. So got a lot done. Yeah, it was a good day.
You're good.
Yeah.
Good. That's it. When you have that many, it's bound to happen, right? I mean, you're not going to hit.
Oh, yeah, no, not at all.
Right? So, good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Mike. The interesting thing about that is everybody, I get a lot of people who ask me about no-shows, right? Like, oh man, what about no-shows? Like doesn't that suck? And it's like, well, yeah, but it's just going to happen. It's just going to be a thing that you're going to have to deal with when you're in sales. So the sooner you can get used to it, the better. The two no-shows yesterday were actually like already clients, like it wasn't for sales calls or anything else like that. Which, yeah,
that happens.
Yeah, well, yeah. So,
yeah. Have you found any more difficulty in Zoom scheduling the longer kind of the pandemic situation's going on?
What do you mean?
Well, it's always been, to me, Zoom scheduling has always kind of been, I wouldn't say hit and miss, but it's never been 100% for me. I don't know if it's the video aspect, even if it's current clients or whatever. And it just seems like the longer Zooms become a thing, the more it's like it's maybe become comfortable, and it's like, I don't know. I just feel like Zoom calls everyone wanted to get on a Zoom call last June. Now it's like, let's put it on the calendar. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't make it today.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think that most people are just not good at following through with their intentions, right? And sure. I'm not that much better, right? The reason why I put everything on the calendar is because I don't put myself into a spot to where I trust myself to have the willpower to go do something, right? Yeah. I had this teacher in sixth grade, amazing guy. His name is Mr. Kruger. He now lives in California, like one of my favorite teachers. And he was talking about one day how like the differences between him and his dad. And his dad would do a little bit of work and then take a break and then work and then break and then work and then break. And he's like, I can't do that. Like I don't want to take a break until it's all done. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to take a break until it's all done either. So what I do is like I just put everything on the calendar so that way I don't have to make the decision to do it. It's just on the calendar. So my calendar just tells me to do it.
Yeah. That's good, Mike. That's a good idea. I'm with you. I think it's a smart idea. Don't schedule stuff. So what's your, Mike, how far out will you schedule? Like how many days? I'm curious on that.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, I find more of that as well, Levi. And it's kind of annoying to me because like why did we schedule a video call if you're not going to get on video? We could just like,
yeah, that's fair. I did a Q&A session yesterday about like disc and selling and stuff, and it was for some women in a mastermind group, and like half of the women didn't want to turn on their camera.
Yeah,
and it's hard. To be like the coach, right, or the facilitator, the person leading the thing when people don't have their cameras on, because you can't tell if they're like into it or not, So
absolutely.
I understand like not wanting to turn on the camera. At this point, it just doesn't bother me, right? It's weird because like I don't I'm not trying to be this guy who's like I mean, I kind of am in like a business sense, but I've just been doing Zooms for so long and like delivering via Zoom for so long, it just like doesn't bother me. So like yesterday when I was talking about like the full day yesterday, right? And like I know I'm going to be wiped at the end of it, but not like any more wiped than I would be at the end of any other busy day. So
yeah, well, like I think context matters too sometimes, because when it's just like a catch-up call or sometimes a client call and there's a group of them or whatever, that's fine. But like we're delivering a hero on a mission workshop when we had two, right? One like 7 days apart, right? The first one we had 10 people on the call, and 9 of them were on camera, and one of them apologized they couldn't be on camera, and they had like a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Next week we had 10, 4 people were on camera, and that 6 gave no explanation. It was just like the letter was up, and I was like encouraging them to get on camera just so we could, talking about the importance of having interaction, especially when we're talking about things that are vulnerable and blah 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 blah. No. I was like, man, that's annoying.
Yeah.
So, all right, Mike, you don't have to give him more than 4. Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Man, I can't find anybody who wants to schedule 4 weeks out. Like everybody's like, oh yeah, in the next 2 weeks, and I'm like, man, it sounds terrible.
4 days though, Mike.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Is that 4 weeks or 4 days? The further out you go, the colder the colder the want. Yeah, that's true, right? It's one of the big 7, right? When you don't take action in relation to like a time frame that they're wanting to take action, and then the other priorities and problems get back in there. Yeah.
Sure. And it looks like he's got either his Spanish or something on. There's some accentes over the O's and the
days, not weeks. Okay, there you go.
Is he more? Oh, that's on my screen. That's hilarious. It just happened all over the O twice.
Man, yeah. Thank God you gave me crap for cleaning my glasses this morning. Right, you just have crap all over your screen that's making you think that Mike is speaking or typing in a foreign language.
I was impressed. I'm not even mad. I was impressed.
Not even mad. I'm impressed.
Hold me the cheese bags.
A long time ago, a friend of mine and I were both like really into motorcycles, and so we went to like a Honda shop, just to go look at the Honda bikes. And there was this guy there, and his name was Eric. Yeah, I think his name was Eric, and he had like this crazy hair, and he gave me his card, right? Because like we chatted for a bit, and on his card it says Eric, quote unquote, bad hair, something, okay. and then his last name, and I was like, what's up with the bad hair? And he was like, have you seen this? And I was like, well, yeah, I don't think it looks that bad. And he goes, well, I don't think so either, but other people have a problem with it, so I decided to make it a joke. And I was like, but on your business card? And he was like, hey, everyone just comes in and says, hey, I'm looking for the guy with the crazy hair anyway, so I might as well own it. And I was like, okay.
Why not go crazy hair instead of bad hair?
That was a question I pondered for many weeks after meeting him. Word choice matters.
It does. It really does. Especially if you put an accent over the O, you might throw somebody on the screen, even though, no. Got it.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So it's funny because we do the show every morning, and most people only see me with the headphones on, right? And then I took the photos, and when I take the headphones off, the hair, expands a little bit. It takes up more room. What's that?
It has life.
It has life. Yeah. So I was putting the headphones on this morning and was about to tell Jake the story about Eric, bad hair, whatever his last name is. Yes. And then I was like, I'm going to share this on the show. I'm going to share this with everybody.
Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. How was school yesterday, man? Are you stressed out about today?
No. The way this week worked out, it was more like it was a heavy first of the week, so I've still got some work to do for the end of the week, but it's good. I'm good. Okay. I'm a good fit. And I'm looking for a picture because there's somebody when you were talking about your the hair being cooped up, I was thinking of a TV show from the 80s and it didn't quite hit the way I hoped it would. So
okay, you weren't thinking about Jean Ralphio from Parks and Rec, Ben Schwartz? No.
I actually was not a big Parks and Rec guy, so like I've seen it. I've seen it. I've watched it. It's just not. Have you watched
it all the way through?
No.
Oh, yeah. The first season's rough. You got to start in the second season.
So here's what we're looking at. I was thinking Renegade.
There's no way. Lorenzo Lamas.
Yeah.
Okay, so funny story. My mom is gay and has the biggest thing for this dude.
Yeah.
Like loves him.
Attractive, right? I mean.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, he's dreamy.
He's dreaming. Yes.
My hair looks nothing like that, dude.
No, I failed on that one. I was for some reason I remember it being more, I guess, kind of wavier like yours is, and I remember that it was long too. But I don't know.
Man, I take that as a compliment. Thank you so much. Everyone else is like very confused. Levi's like, Jake?
Yeah.
Jake, do you need new glasses?
Well, we just put them on. This morning I'm clearly having issues because
you look a little tired this morning.
I am. It was heavy. It was a heavy first half of the week. I actually commented on a post I put up earlier this week, and where I had some new clients, and we had some, like, not harsh is the word, but some pretty big redos, some pretty big feedback, some pretty big turnover in a short period of time. After hours type stuff where it's like I'm just that was one of my least favorite things about working in an agency was the urgency that for urgency's sake. I mean, there's really just, no, gotta go. It's like, yeah, that's not. I haven't worked that way in 5 years probably. Yeah. And so I think some of that caught up to me. And then it was a long day yesterday. Wednesdays are long for us because typically we have stuff. Jackson plays in the church band on Wednesday nights, and then we ran some errands in between school and that, and then so we were running and gunning all day yesterday.
Dang, man, yeah, that's a long day.
Yep.
What do you have today? Other than that gigantic cup of coffee, like that's not a metal cup, but I think I would be more nervous about getting hit with that cup than I would most metal cups.
Really interesting.
Yeah, I think so. It looks beefy.
Yeah. It's a good size. It's not an 8 ouncer. It's a solid 12 ouncer. Oh, see, you just said that so you could bring out the big boy, huh?
You're holding a cup filled with liquid, and all I could think about was how parched I was.
Yep. So today, let's see. Today I have writing. I have some follow up with clients. I have 2 meetings. One of them with Kira Day, which we're trying to do some more follow up because she's got some really cool stuff going on that possibly we could, help each other out. And that's it, really, as far as the calendar goes. I got to get some command hooks to get these whiteboards on the wall. I'm sitting here, like looking at them, like shaking my head at myself, going, "What are you doing with your life?"
I can just see you like you walk over to the wall where it's going to hang, and then you just squat and just write on it like as it's leaning up against the wall because you haven't hung it yet, and then have to stand back up and walk away.
Totally did that yesterday.
That makes me gleefully happy for some reason. Though, like the picture of that.
I said cross. Well, I don't know what the proper term is.
Cross-legged.
Cross-legged. Sure. I sat down in front of it that way yesterday and wrote on it.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so funny to me. So okay, good day for you. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, it should be it means I got to fill some of those holes though with useful things because it'll be easy to because I'll have a little bit of time where I don't necessarily have a very specific thing waiting for me. So I'm gonna need to.
Did you call this episode the letdown?
Yeah, so it was like after a big chunk of work.
Oh, okay.
You get off your plate. And then you like that's on today. I'm like, ooh.
Okay. I just now saw that up in the top corner of the screen. I was like, what? Okay.
I couldn't think of how to call that. I was like, after you've done something that you worked really hard on, and then like all your energy goes into it, and then afterward you kind of just got this.
See, mine works differently. Mine is when I'm forced to be around people, like in person. Like after that, I'll have that moment of right, and then I'll recharge by doing a bunch of like kind of solo work.
Okay, so that's interesting. So the introvert part of you, pulls from your battery, and the extrovert part of me charges my battery that way.
Yep.
You go do work to recover from being out of energy?
Well, I'll go do solo work, right? I mean, it's not like high intensive, kind of like stuff, but like if so this has happened a couple of times recently where like I will have a meeting in person, like we're like out in public, and then I will come home and like all I want to do is just like work kind of like alone on something for like a little bit. It could be writing a blog post, it could be working on some tasks or something like this, but it's kind of like maybe it's just like a reset of like, okay, cool, let's come over here and do like some solo work to kind of get back in the vein of things.
Is it like Tony Stark, just kind of sitting down tinkering with stuff in his lab, sort of thing? Like just kind of want to be alone and.
I guess my way less cool version of that, yeah. Nothing I'm working on is as cool as Tony Stark. Like just kind of like plinking around in the garage on his like, vintage hot rod. Yeah.
Well, or another way would be like my dad's an engineer, and he'd go tinker in the garage after work. Like he'd go mess on little circuit boards or something, and he may call that work, but it was really just him unwinding.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is. It's just like an unwind kind of deal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it just threw me for a minute because I'm like, I'm done, I'm tired, I go do some work.
The important thing to remember is that it's solo work, sir.
Yeah, I think work is what hits me, not the solo part. It's the work part that hits me because
So I talked to a lot of people who were like entrepreneurs, right? And there's like this whole thing of like fail fast and like figure it out and be detached and everything else. And I talked to these people who have these ideas and like this might be terrible to say, but there's no real like passion behind it. They're just experiments to see if they can make money or not.
Yeah.
And then they put it down. And now like some of these people have had some success, right? And so they're like, John, just put down like the sales thing. Just go do something else. It's like, no, like that's not how this works. Like I can't like not help or I can't not coach, right, around this kind of stuff. So, while something might be easier, that's not what I'm going for here, right? And I just think it's funny how detached some people can be around the thing. I mean, I think it's great in the grand scheme of things. I just don't know that I will ever be able to get there to that point.
Yeah, and I wish I could remember. I was reading something yesterday about somebody pretty big who started. Oh, yeah, it was a thing on Jeff Bezos, right? Because he's stepping down. 3.
Okay, real quick, what are your thoughts on that? On him stepping down?
I've got multiple. I think
me too.
Timing's convenient, and there's some interesting things. Let's go back to that because the comment I wanted to make on Bezos was that he started with books not because he was passionate about books, because logically it made a lot of sense for what he was trying to build. So a great first step. So his passion was much different than books. People just think.
That's interesting.
He didn't care about books at all. He's like, oh yeah, this would be easy. I think he's probably tired. He has been churning for 20 years, 20 plus years on this. That's a lot. 25, I think now at this point. So I bet he's probably pretty dang tired. But yes, with all the regulatory stuff that's coming down, probably around Facebook here pretty quick, around privacy laws and things. I think there's probably a bit more there than everyone knows, and he's a very sharp guy. So some of that, and then I think his age maybe has something to do with it. I do think maybe there's a part of him that like goes, I want to do something else. Like I just really kind of want to engage my time in something else. But it's a whole combination of things going on with him.
So you don't think it's like a board thing? You don't think he's being pushed out?
Could be, yeah. But absolutely could be part of it.
Yeah, yep. I think like I don't really think that it's that, but you always know that it could be, right?
Yeah,
at that level.
Yeah. Levi, I like what you said there. We are allowed to disengage for work, but if you try and call it play,
that's a good point. I don't have any problem calling it play, right? Like whenever like I mean I game a fair amount, right? I consider a lot of the things that I do play, right? Like some of my habit stuff. I mean, obviously training whenever I'm capable of doing that. I consider that play, but like I think at this point I just want to make sure that like I can come back to this and work. Right, because like I miss going to coffee shops and like networking and hanging out and like being around other people and stuff like that. And I know that if I I would rather do it that way than this way, right? Like I can do this, right, and this works and everything, but I miss like being able to go out and be around people and like network and all that stuff. So part of it is just like, hey, this isn't so bad kind of deal, right? So I think on some level, it's a little bit of like, okay, like let's get back into the fact that like, you know, this doesn't happen all day every day anymore, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I kind of get some FOMO around work. Like, not, yeah, FOMO's the right word. Like, there's some things I know I wish I could be doing today, and so when I get home, I can't wait till tomorrow. I'm gonna go sit down and do some solo work, but it's because I don't want to miss out on some things. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not always unwind. It's some of it's unhealthy, if you will, around FOMO.
So on that point, is it FOMO? Is it real FOMO? Is it just like an open loop that you can't like put down, or is it like deadlines and delivery?
Not deadlines and delivery. That's different. I put that in its own category. It's like I didn't do my job today, or they're expecting too much. Like, you know,
have you seen Levi's comment?
I was yeah.
If my ex was donating billions won in divorce, I would need to step back from big decisions for at least a while. That might be the comment of the week.
Yeah, I didn't even go into the divorce part. Like he's got so much going on in his life right now. Like I can't imagine trying to run a company that big. Like to me, that's a lot.
But okay. So we all are you a Bezos fan?
I'm in the middle. Like I'm a fan of some of the things he does. I wouldn't say I'm a Bezos fan though.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm with you, right? I'm not as you know. I know some people who are like, well, he shouldn't have that much money, and I don't believe that, right? And I also don't think he really has any clue of like what's happening in his like distribution centers when people are having the struggles that he's doing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think he's like as bad as people thinks that he is, but I also don't have any like thoughts that he's like doing it out of anything other than money.
Yeah, I think Zuck more that way. And I think that unfortunately that the Social Network movie painted him in a way that may be somewhat accurate, but like makes me go, that guy is really just about like we're an experiment that he gets to run in life. Of how much can he get of that and tech, and like it's really one big. I think a lot of the humanities feels like it's removed from his day to day. I don't know that though. That's not fair of me to say of him. It just feels that way with his. I don't know. So.
I don't know. I catch myself thinking like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. And then I kind of have to like step aside from my, I guess, kind of personal view of him and realize like it's uncommon, right? The thing that I find endlessly fascinating is like, and the best thing that he's done is just create a platform so that way other people want to buy and sell stuff on it, right? And we're all like. It's endlessly fascinating. All these because I think of like FBA stuff as kind of like the first real get rich quick online kind of deal. I mean, obviously there was stuff before that, but like FBA was huge. Yeah. So, like all these people are just like making tons and tons and tons of content and everything else about like how to become a fulfillment person, and like you're just making him so much richer, right? And like that level of like thinking is fascinating to me.
That's Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's Robert Kiyosaki thinking. It's like how do I become the toll booth instead of?
I hated that book.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's a really strong concept. I've seen Kiyosaki and met him. I've seen him.
Oh, really?
Multiple times, and he's what you think of as a typical Marine. He can be a real jerk. But man, that concept is so good because it's you either create a job for yourself or you create a lane where you collect. And he's saying rich dad collects. So that's what Bezos does a really good job of. And I like the reason I like what Bezos did is like you said, he created opportunity for other people to make money. He was just smart enough to be at the top, or almost like a MLM, right? Like he's just at the top of the MLM. at the very tip top of the biggest MLM.
except they're going to copy your stuff that you sell on his store and then run you off eventually, right? Like that's like the terribly like shady part, like.
That's true. That's true. In fact, yesterday, one of my favorite memes I saw was of him in a little caterpillar pushing down a local shop, and it says Bezos quits CEO job so he can go push down local businesses in person. It's so good. It was so
that
good.
That is funny. I like that. Okay.
Yeah. And then, so yesterday, maybe we can kind of roll out with this because it's the same topic, sort of, is in class, we were talking about economics. In Jackson's class, they were talking about the GameStop thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And asked, who's the bad guy in the situation? Is it the Reddit users? Is it Robinhood? Is it GameStop? Or is it the hedge fund people?
It's the hedge fund people.
Who's the bad guy?
For sure, right?
There were different answers, though. That's what was fascinating. It wasn't.
Oh, of course, there's going to be different answers. That's why I love the "Am I the asshole?" thread on Reddit, right? But look, here's the deal. Hedge funds have been doing this for forever, right? And when you read "Trust Me, I'm Lying," right, the book by Ryan Holiday, you can see how quickly that they can. This can happen, right? Someone releases something saying that they're going to lay somebody off, right? And it's a plant or something like this, and this gets spun up, and then all of a sudden it hits like market news, right? And it's trending, and then the stocks take a hit, and somebody makes money, right? So like it's happening all over the place. So, yeah.
Well, the irony is that Robinhood was involved in this because it's like the poor robbing the rich in this.
So how were they involved? Because they just stopped trading, right?
Yeah, they shut down trading, and a whole bunch of people were mad because they were saying it's not Robinhood's place to stop them from making money because there's a loophole in the system. And
so excuse me. So I kind of agree that Robinhood is kind of the asshole here, right? I do kind of agree with that, but this wouldn't have been happening if hedge funds hadn't been doing this kind of stuff for like years and years and years before. It wouldn't even be a blip on the radar. Right. So like I always asshole award to the first group who takes like the assholery action, which is like hedge funds, because it's what they've been doing for forever.
Right. Well, yeah. I would say that Robinhood in this case was the first in this case to do the asshole remove, because the hedge funds have been doing it forever and ever. This has been going on. They're not like, if we're talking about the first, yes, but like first. And so the interesting discussion we ended up having was that the stock market is supposed to be based on valuation of a company, and stocks rise, but that's not how it works anymore because all the different mechanisms that are available to people these days. And so there was one kid that was hell bent that these Reddit people were stealing from the market and from everybody. And I was like, look, they found a loophole in the system. It's legal. It's how the system works. Mm-hmm. Ethical? I don't know. That's a different discussion, but it's not illegal. And they were actually trying to stick it to the man. And it's like the Robin Hood reference. Mm-hmm. I thought it was funny. It's because they were trying to rob from the rich, get back to the poor.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, no, no, I mean, hedge funds shouldn't be doing this kind of thing on the regular, right? So, like you took the first asshole action. I mean, the Robinhood thing is annoying, but like I can see the concerns for like second level stuff, of that happening, right? So, on one level, right, because like it wasn't just Robinhood, the restricted trading on GameStop, right? I mean, it was much bigger stuff. So, I don't know.
I would have done the thing if I was Robinhood. So
I would be concerned that everyone's going to like empty their accounts. So I would kind of like put a hold on it. I don't really know that I think that it's ethical, right? I used to, we were both in that world for a little bit, right? So, it's not the first time that like security trading has been halted, right, due to like something going on. But normally it happens at the market level and not like the app or brokerage level. So the fact that it was a brokerage level is kind of interesting to me.
And and I think Mike makes a good point. Hedge funds push and pull stuff all the time.
All the time.
I don't like that at all, because that goes against the spirit of the market.
Yeah.
And even there was an interesting discussion about should shorting be allowed. And if you understand how the original concept for the market works, shorting just means you don't believe that the valuation is correct or that something's going to be happening to bring it down, and you're just making a bet on solid information. Whereas now, once again, there's these little things you can pull, and they got massive amounts of money, can literally control the market, including the Fed. I mean, that's part of their job, and they can, that goes into politics as well. So it's an endlessly fascinating conversation for me at this age. I probably would have hated it. 15-year-olds, but but they were all really engaged, so it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
So my day real quick, and then we have to go. I have 8:15 with the family law crew. I have 9 o'clock for sales practice lab with some new people in there. And then I have a new one-on-one with a private client who's coming on to work on one-on-one. And I have a 2-hour gap that I'll probably do some networking in. And then I have a 30-minute call that's some lead gen sourced for me. So we'll see how that goes. Then I have another private client call at 2. And then I actually have a tea today with a good friend of mine named Maureen Maidlow, who got us some T-shirts all those months ago that said free hugs, bumps, or fist bumps, and elbows. So
I wore that last week.
Yeah. So I'm gonna meet up with her in person and have coffee, tea, because she doesn't drink coffee. And then that's my day today. Very light by comparison.
Yes. More like a day of the week.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thursday was yesterday for me.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So. Do you need anything today, Bill? Can I set an alarm and then just completely blow past it and not nudge you?
I feel like I'm just gonna ping you at 2 o'clock today, just to close my head. Just
okay. There you go. Yeah. 2-3 days later. Yeah.
As long as it closes.
It's actually brought to my attention, so I went back and read.
Yeah, he's talking about Google's terms.
Oh yeah. Now here's the deal. Google is doing the same thing as Amazon and Facebook. They're just doing it through a slightly different lens. Everybody wants your data, right? I mean, if you've not heard about the whole Target thing, right, and how every company is a data company these days, you need to go read a little bit, right?
Yes.
I mean,
particularly the pregnancy story.
That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah,
that one. It's quite funny. I mean, funny now.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
if that happened to me, I'd be like, what?
Yeah, data is data, and trends are trends, right? How we use it. There's a guy who has these. He's like a VA broker, and in his ads, I don't know if this is his girlfriend or not, but it's the same woman in all of his ads, and she's just progressively dressed in less and less and less. And one of the more recent ones, she is just in a bikini, and this dude is getting flamed in the comments, and he's like, "Well, it tested well," and I was like, "Of course it's gonna test well, but you shouldn't be running that as the test, right? Because here's the deal." What do you do with the test data, right? Because it's never going to be enough. So do you put her in less clothing next time? Do you put her in more clothing if this one doesn't do well? You're putting yourself into a spot to where you don't have a way to progress from there, in my opinion. So and also you shouldn't just be objectifying,
I'll say dropping all moral conversation here. Just the fact that you are featuring someone to grab artificial attention, to send them to something that has nothing to do with project breaks all trust at a very minute level. That's where it starts breaking trust right away.
Yep, it is just as bad as that one DM scheme of, hey, are you taking on new clients? And then the minute that they say yes, they say, okay, awesome. How about 20 new clients per month? You want to sign up for a marketing contract? Oh, God, such bait and switchy.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Anyway, so you don't get yelled at. Thanks to everybody today. Michelle, Mike, Levi. Everybody. We'll see everybody.
And you lurkers, right? I know some people who are lurking. I've been getting messages. I know what's going on. So,
all right. See you guys tomorrow.